Okay, physiometry. So I was pointing here and I said point to the wall that's parallel to this wall. You should have pointed that way. Okay, now I'm going to point to another wall in my office/playroom. I'm pointing here. Point to the wall that should be parallel to that wall. You should have pointed to the opposite wall. And that's because, friends, parallel sides are opposite of one another. Okay, we're moving on to the concept development, which you can follow along in your packet. And like I mentioned earlier, it's a good idea to pause and try to figure things out for yourself. If you don't understand, you can always go back and watch it over again as many times as you need to until you understand. And if you still have questions, you will save those and either ask me during a Zoom meeting or Ms. McMillan during a Zoom meeting, or you can email us. Okay, so George decided to paint a wall with 2 windows. Okay, and I'm going to highlight important things. There's 2 windows here. Both windows are 3.5 feet by 4.5 feet rectangles. And then the directions are find the area the paint needs to cover. Find the area the paint needs to cover. Okay, so you can see that this is a wall. And do we know the area? Could we find the area of this wall? Yes, we can, because we know both the length and the width. So to find area, you need to know the length and the width. Area equals length times width. And then we have 2 windows inside. And we know that the windows are 3.5 feet by 4.5 feet. So let's go ahead and I'm going to try to get fancy like Miss McMillan. She's a middle school math teacher, so you guys are in good hands with her. And I'm learning a lot from her. Oh my gosh, she's probably laughing at me right now. Okay, let me try this again. So I'm going to do a shape right here. Yeah, like that. And then I want to grab it. Yeah. Okay, so I can use an area model to show that my window is 3.5 by 4.5 feet. So let's go ahead and do, geez Louise. I guess I could draw that shape. And make it look a little nicer. Goodness. Let's do it. Okay. Okay, so confusing because this is a window, but this is just an area model, but we're going with it. Okay, so we've got 3.5 by 4.5. Doesn't matter which side you put the 3.5 and which side you put the 4.5 on, but let's do 3.5 here and 4.5 here. And break it up into parts. And then you multiply to find the partial products. 3 times 1/2 equals 3/2, right? And 4 times 1/2 is going to give you 4/2. And then 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. And so when we now need to add the partial product. So 12 plus 3/2. 3/2 is the same thing as 1.5. So 12 plus 1.5 equals 13.5. And 4/2 plus 1/4. So I'm going to convert my halves into fourths. So if I have, so 4/2 would be 2, and 2 1/4. And then we add these guys together and we get